Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. How are you doing today? Hope you're well and keeping safe. Anyway, today is about Edo. Edo APC has revolted, saying Edo APC adapts indirect primaries, says NWC lacks power to decide mood of primaries. This is a fresh twist. We're going to get to the news and get all the details. We go. Edo APC adapts indirect primaries, says NWC lacks power to direct mood of primaries. Don't forget that NWC has said they will do the indirect primary process. The indirect primaries process has been analyzed to see that it's more fraudulent and it can be easily manipulated. Anyway, Edo APC says no, we are going to have the indirect primaries. Let's get to the news and get all the details. Edo APC chapter of the All Progressive Congress on Friday said is adapting the indirect primary method for the emergence of the party's flag bearer in September 19, 2020 governorship election in the state. The National Working Committee (NWC) has in the earlier hours on Friday said it has adopted direct primary option where all registered party members will elect for the governorship flag bearer. However, speaking with Daily Independence, Aslam Osojo, Edo State Chairman of APC, said NWC lacks the power to impose the direct method on the state as the National Executive Council (NEC) has clearly stated that each state is at liberty to adopt any method it prefers. According to him, stakeholders in Edo APC just concluded a critical meeting where they adopted the indirect, direct or delegates primary method. He said the NWC cannot decide the mood of the primary. The decision of the National Executive Committee (NEC) is very clear, and that is every state will choose the mood of primary it wants and that nullifies the NWC for them to act on our primary method. In that regard, we have just concluded that here in our meeting, made up of the State Executive Council and the statutory national delegates of the convention, we have adopted the indirect primary method as the preferred method of the governorship election here in Edo State. We are preparing the resolution, and very soon we'll prepare a statement to that effect, he said. Whatever anybody is saying, wherever they are, the National Executive Council supersedes the National Working Committee. The National Executive Council has given directive saying every state, I repeat, every state should adopt the method that best works for them. For us in Edo State, we have decided that the indirect primary method or delegates primary method, where stakeholders will have to go ahead and elect for their choice rather than a few people picking who should be the flag bearer. We have chosen and we have spoken. Our our executive, our National Executive Council here in Edo State have sat together and we've deliberated and come up with the best option that works for us. It is the indirect primary method. We are going to issue a statement and make it established just before the time. Well, my people, this is fresh twist regarding Edo State primaries. You've heard it all. They have decided to go with the indirect primary method. Now, the National Executive Committee, yes, supersedes the National Working Committee. So the National Executive Committee has issued a statement before that every state can adopt any primary method that works for them. They must use a method anyway. They can't just for them to pick a consensus candidates at the end of the day. They have to decide what method will work for them in that state. However, the National Working Committee came back a few days ago. We reported that. You can refer to our former news and get all that details to say that the direct primary method is what they will use in Edo State. Well, the National Working Committee in Edo State has come up to say no, we don't work like that. That does not work for us. That is not what we prefer. We have deliberated on the method and we have seen that that will not work for us. So, as a state, we have a council here and we take directives from the National Executive Council directives, and the instruction was clear that every state can adopt a method that best work for them. We in Edo State have looked at both, and we have critically analyzed what will work for the state, for the good of the state, so that the election is free, is fair, is something that everybody can say we contested, we had our share, we looked at it together, and the Edo people have spoken. Edo people have decided what will work for them. So Edo State has said no, we are not taking what the National Working Committee have said. We are going with the executive. Remember, the executive is higher than just the working committee. Yes, so they said no, we are not taking that method. We have decided on what we want to do. It's going to be the indirect method. Anyway, now that the matter dey for now, they are looking at it and they're going to work on more about it to come up with what they've already come up with what will work for them. So what they need to do now is to start implementing plans immediately, and they're going to issue a statement to make it formal that this is what they will be doing in Edo State, and as such, Edo State is ready for the primaries. Don't forget that the primaries is just barely weeks away. For Edo State, the primary is in June. For Ondo State, the primaries is in July. And the governorship election for Edo State is in September 19 precisely, and October 10th for Ondo State. APC needs to realize that unity will move them forward. But if they decide to say, you know what, no unity, let us fight, they should not forget that they are not just, it's not just an APC contention. What I mean is that it's not just APC working together, it's other parties as well, other bodies. But we have PDP, a strong contender, waiting to also, snatch the ticket from, uh, take Edo State governorship from APC. APC came into power when Oshomole contested in 2008, and PDP was declared the winner. However, they went to court after PDP has begun rule in Edo State, and the courts nullified INEC result as announced against PDP, that PDP did not win. And that's how APC, the person of Oshomole representing APC, started their rule in Edo State. He ruled for the first tenure, went ahead, contested again for the second tenure, and he won, And after the 8 years he has ruled, that is the maximum time you can rule for a tenure, is a tenure is 4 years, and after the first tenure, he went again for the second tenure, contested, and he had the 8 years complete. After the whole 8 years, he had to move on. So that's how, from his cabinet, Obaseki served in Oshomole's cabinet, both in his second tenure. They worked together, and by the time he was leaving, the person of Obaseki was a consensus candidate that APC picked, and he contested and he won. That's how the whole process has started, and that's how Obaseki became the governor. But recently, for Obaseki to have a second tenure, they said, well, he has to do the elections again. And so the elections again have commenced, and the whole process is on. All of a sudden, a National Working Committee came up to say no, it has to be direct method. Anyway, Edo State chapter has sat down, has analyzed it, has looked at it and said, no, this will not work for us as a party, as a people. This will not work for us. It will not be free and fair according to them. So they sat down, they looked at it together, and they have come up with a method they feel and they think will work for them. And they've come to announce to say, well, say the matter be say we want the we want the indirect method. That's what they have come to say loud and clear, that it has to be indirect method in Edo State. They are not sure of any other state, but for Edo State, it has to be the indirect method. Anyway, that's what they are working at now. That's the plans, and that's where they are heading for. What do you think? We would like you to please like us, share, subscribe, click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God bless. Don't forget to stay safe, look after yourself and those around you. God bless you, and bye for now.